Hello everybody, here for the Hammer Game channel. Welcome back to the New Order, the Last Days of Europe, and to my Siberian free territory playthrough. But today we're going to be working down this part of the tree here, as we need to complete it to unlock the other parts of our tree: the economy, the military, and the foreign focus trees. So into a brighter tomorrow. Despite our struggles, the Siberian Black Army has managed to beat all of our enemies in central Siberia. However, our work does not stop here, as there is much to be done. Firstly, and most importantly, many new villages, towns, and even cities have come under our control, and we must work to help organise all of our new lands to proper communes. Furthermore, we must begin the long process of helping the people acclimate and understand why anarchism is the proper future of Russia. Lurking and mostly unspoken is the fear that the Siberian Soviet will be subsumed by the Black Army, leading to the anarchist dream falling into the trappings of military junta. Though some of these fears may have merit, we can hopefully find a solution that allows us to maintain freedom while preventing chaos. That gives us, what was the effects? Reduce the administration strain on our state and political power. Siberian Free Territory. That's not great. Black Army weakened. Yeah, overextended administration. That's going to reduce that. That's good. Now, we've got all the communes on our side. We're empowering the communes right now. Is there anything else down in here we want to do? There's no territories we need to integrate right now. We are hiring foreign instructors right now. Well, that's regional development. What about the Siberian plan? What the hell's the Siberian plan? Is the Siberian plan no longer a thing? Yeah, the legacy of the Siberian plan. What? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Denmark's getting invaded. Poor Denmark. There's more factories. Actually, we don't need it on guns. Let's put them on the Air Force. Because they're going to play a major role in the rest of the reunification. There's going to be a lot of warring going on in here in the next couple of years. We've unified really quickly. Weekly manpower. We got a decent amount of manpower for the time being. Improve worker training. Invest in construction. Let's invest in construction. What the f... I'm an idiot. Why did I invest in construction there? You tit. Alright, invest in telegraphs, radios, and phone lines at the cost of 20 million US dollars. That's fine. We got 37 billion, so... Committee of Liberation of the Peoples of Russia declared war on the Principality of Yaika to unite anarchy. Consolidated regional courts. New territories under our control have been consolidated and reformed to proper anarchist communes. The solution at first glance is simply let the people organise themselves in the communes. However, while this may seem simply easy on paper, the actual process of the reformation has caused quite the ideological debate. The people of Central Siberia have never lived under anarchist society, and likely have no idea how to organise themselves. Furthermore, it is also likely that there are too many who still wish to see our dream foiled. Therefore, we are left with a choice. Do we allow the people to self-organise, as our ideology tells us to, or do we have the Black Army provisionally lead these lands until they are ready to properly organise? Right, anything the Black Army does, we're doing the opposite. Yes, we're going to have faith in the newly integrated rather, not appointed. The Aryan Brotherhood has been defeated. Resource gain efficiency. Enforces libertarian social values. Freedom for all except someone. Sculptors of the past. To be pro or be reactive? Interesting. We're already doing Reach for the Dawn. That is libertarian socialism. Good old Mother Anarchy. We will not be straying from her. Oh, Komi and Volgda are getting invaded there. They're doing their thing in Samara, so we'll see what happens there. Kansk and the Divine Mandate of Siberia look like they're probably going to have a showdown, or maybe Cheetah. They might have the showdown with the Mandate. Otherwise, I don't know who's going to do it here. Nothing is happening here yet. Maybe Sverdlovsk will come through on top. Tumen maybe, or Omsk, one of them three. Preemptive strike, let's do it. I think this is the only one where we're not going to have this Kazakh Khanate take control in Kazakhstan. And yes, Denmark is now German. Sad times. Right, implementing a motion there. I can't believe I'm investing in construction. West Siberian People's Republic. Ah, there is war. To unite anarchy. Mikhail sat back in his chair, tired after a long day after reading reports and negotiating local commune leaders after 20 years as a leader in general in the Black Army. If he had learned one thing, it was administrating territory. It was always harder than conquering it. Yeah, that doesn't really... I'm not too bothered about reading the rest of that. Faith in the newly integrated. Let's do it. To let the Black Army control our new lands would be nothing but an absolute betrayal of our ideology. It may seem inane, but allowing the Black Army to control our new lands sets a bad precedent. After all, if we expand further, why shouldn't the Black Army control those new lands until the people are acclimate to anarchism? In any case, showing that we don't trust the people undermines anarchism here in Siberia as a whole. After all, one of the major tenets of anarchism is mutual cooperation. Failing to extend a hand in trust does nothing but sabotage our hopes from the very beginning. There may be those who are unwilling to self-organise, but through proper execution of anarchist ideology, as compared to throwing the army around like a fascist state, we can forge an anarchist society that is truly free. Exactly. Mother Anarchy will be proud. It's all about doing the right for Mother Anarchy. None of this getting the Black Army to do it for us. You can get in the bin. The Siberian Soviet will always be here. Wow. Divine Mandate of Siberia is going on in. The Harbinger of Reaction. Okay. Okay. Do away with Lenin's cult. Well, we're socialists this time, so if we do, when we do get Lenin's body, we can preserve it probably. Now, I think it's about time we maybe made some more divisions. We are short of artillery, the howitzers, but we got everything else. It's not exactly set up how we want. Oh, we need signal companies. We need signal companies. My new fave in the game. Gotta have my signal companies. Alright, 6 divisions for the time being. Kansk. What to do? Faith in the newly integrated. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and do it. Strike the balance of power. The Black Army is undeniably a powerful authority, and we've had to rely greatly upon them throughout all of our struggles in expansion. Such reliance is worrying to many, and the fears of the Black Army eventually form a military junta in all but name are widespread. Of course, we cannot allow such a tragedy to occur, and especially after coming so far. To prevent the Black Army from controlling too much power, we must take efforts to reinforce the Soviets and communes. Strengthen the civilian councils combined with transferring Black Army tasks to other, more representative organs will allow us to maintain our anarchist ideals, even in the fact of threats. This should be... Yep, that's looking not too shabby now. This is going to further help with it. Rural Military District has defeated the West Siberian People's Republic. Sverdlovsk came out on top. So far, so good for Rokozovsky. A coup in Scotland. The light finally goes out. Oh, it's gone again. Oh, Samara won. Samara has won. Who's going to win in the north, though? Not Komi. Komi's going bye-bye. Komi's definitely going bye. It's going to be the West Russian Revolutionary Front. With whatever that arsenal is. Fast cast with lethal revenge weapons. Yep, that sounds very Soviet of them. Alright, what are we doing again? Yes, we're doing that. Extended communication systems. One of the biggest issues that we have encountered in our expansion is a lack of communication ability. It can take days, even weeks, to find out about various events that occur in the more rural areas. Furthermore, the need for better communication and coordination with our rural comrades is critical in this time of reorganization, as access to superior resources and ending any lurking threats are matters of utmost importance. This communication expansion will be done by exceeding telegraph lines, building new radio towers, and constructing a modern phone system allowing us to reach even the most isolated of communities. No longer will we be left in the dark when it comes to the rural matters. Oh, good. I'm liking how things are going. We're still pacifying everybody. Good. Good. How's the war going over here? Yep, that divine mandate of Siberia is going to win that. We're going to have ourselves a showdown with the divine mandate. Well, well, well. That's fine by me. Got 19 divisions now, so do away with Lenin's cult. How dare they? Civilian infrastructure. Military infrastructure, we do not want to do that. Manpower. No. Lyndon B. Johnson inaugurated as the United States President. Leasing Sao Tome. This is Sao Tome here, is it not? That's the Canary Islands. You're an idiot, dude. You're an idiot. Where's Sao Tome? Cape Verde. I'm a tit. Must be down here. No, that's St. Helena. Where's Sao? Right. To avoid any more stupid. Oh, Sao Tome is right there. Right there. Leasing that off the Iberian Union. Oh, they're stable right now. The Iberian Council's in command, though. Hotline Anarchy. Oh, sounds like a new dating show. I don't know where that came from. You tit doing, that's all I can say. Vertical Industrial Organization, horizontal. Meh. Yeah. It's been 3 weeks since trucks had started passing through the small town. Vadim had noticed that men come through town first one day as he played in the field. Come and speak on our local council. Basically just putting in the telephone. Correct the misguided teachings. Education undoubtedly the foundation of our future. After all, it is education that instills values in the youth, and it is education that people refer back to throughout their life. While there are aspects of the old Soviet and CSR teaching that were taught correctly and properly, there are many other aspects that must be retaught to the populace in order for them to become model anarchists. Most importantly, we must highlight the failures of the states to bring long-term stability and peace to Central Siberia, and similarly showcase how anarchist thought will succeed with a puppet democracy and statist thought has failed. It may take time, but the people will finally understand the truth of anarchism. Good, and we have the Kalashnikov. Hello there. A good old AK-47. Sorry, PPSH, you're now obsolete. We have the AK that carry us to victory. We still have 3 of them. We need to bin them. You're no longer of use to us. You are garbage. And you are a garrison template. I'm fine with you being a garrison template. Signal companies. Signal companies. We need to do it. Enforce Black Army discipline. Despotism. Yes, increase militia reliance. So that. Oh, we got some people opposing us. Right. Commune request for weapons. Yes. Oh, 1 million into debt. That's fine. Political autonomy. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Whatever you need. You shall have the weapons. You shall have the weapons. Now everyone supports us. Yay! Just imagine when you have all of Russia unified. How much of a dick that's going to be. Oh, you've now got 30 states now not loyal to you. Great. Right. Siberian reunification. Control Far Eastern states. See, we've got to wait till January 1969, which is absolutely miles away. I don't know if we're going to get war before then. Because there is the whole, where is it? The policy of liberation. International movement are dealing with the most prominent enemies. Sculptors of the past. Yuri Glazkov dug through the final camp before him. It would be under sea, right? He was sure of it. He would never give the state credit, but for what it was worth, they knew how to keep records. To his left, General Ivan Stepanov. His right, Mikhail Kalichkakov. And also the room demanded something to be done about all the men sitting around. And Drone, Mesherenko. There was some comment to the situation, but the key members of the Fury Council, the men responsible for the ascendancy of anarchism, proliferating around a college campus. It was very important that Yuri and Stepanov, but it didn't stop the two men from seeing the humour of it. I hate... Oh, what is this? Despotism. Ah! We'll never follow the teachings of the state. No, we will bloody not. The only teachings we shall follow is that of Mother Anarchy. Right, cast down social injustice. Throughout the centuries, the Russian state states, in whatever form they may have taken, have created cultural inequality. Women are more often than not seen as inferior to men and consigned to housewives. People of other races have similar criticism, being viewed with suspicion for no other reason than prejudice. However, the group who has had it worst of all are homosexuals. They barely have even a right to exist, with many having prosecuted those unlucky enough to be revealed. Such prejudice has no place in anarchist society. Must work to break the chains that shackle our women, show people that race is merely appearance and nothing more, and allow homosexual comrades to finally be able to freely love whoever they want. Wow, that is good. Freedom for all, except who? Who is not getting freedom? It's a very good move there, though. Everybody is getting rights, which is good. Very weird for an anarchist state to be doing that, but it is built on cooperation and equality, so it kind of does make sense. I just noticed the SAS. What happened to the SAS? Chita is all that remains between the divine mandates rule over Western Siberia. Ha! 40% of their money is going to them. Wow. Yeah, leader of the sphere. Japan's not really done anything in any of my playthroughs on this mod yet. Like they've done zilch, nada, bugger all, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we'll get another 5 divisions. That'll be us up to a 24. We do not have the equipment just yet, but with time we will. And I think that Air Force is not in a airfield is not in a prime position. So I think what we will also do is airbase right on the border. In fact, we'll maybe... Yes, we'll build that up too. Right, let's do... Enshrine the material rights. Every human, no matter what, deserves the right to live. Of course, one cannot merely just live. People require material resources such as food and water. In order to ensure we truly uphold the right of everyone to live, we must also ensure that everyone, no matter who they are, have access to necessities of life. In order to ensure this, we must help ensure that the communes are always able to provide whatever is necessary for people to live. Obviously, we'll inform the communes of their duties, but we will also remind them that they have access to aid from the greater communes if need be. We'll ensure that life is able to prosper under anarchism. Look at this is great. My husband and I were attacked. The man wiped tears from his eyes as he choked on the sentence. Another day, another speech to the mostly apathetic Sugar Council. Such were joys of leaving the free territory open to all. The necessity of the speeches were often dubious at best, but it was still their right to speak, even if no action came. Today was unlike the rest. More than just the usual 2 members of the council were listening intently. Stepanov leaned forward in his seat, wheels obviously turning his head. Yuri Glazikov, similarly, was listening intently, but he wasn't alone. We didn't even do anything. We were just walking to the grocer and he stopped to look at something in the shop. The owner came out and he was shouting. He called us evil and disgusting wow of the Lord's image. It was just something dumb. Guy was selling flowers and well, he loves flowers. We run the largest garden in our commune and actually, sorry I'm rambling. He dropped his pen on the desk and shook his head. I am not going to force you to explain anymore. What happened to you is disgusting and should never happen to anyone in this free society. Yuri's head swayed from side to side as he considered a traumatic experience. It was a couple's right to do as they pleased, but it was also the right of a man to shout, was it not? Yuri, usually overflowing with things to say, was unusually silent. Luckily, companion Valentev spoke for him. What happened to you is horrible. I could not wish that upon my own. However, I do believe it is firmly his right in the society to not only deny you service, but voice his opinion on your prices. Bickering quickly broke out between the members of the council, with most agreeing the shop owner was acting out of line, with division spurring about whether it was his right to deny someone due to their sexuality. Finally, Stepanov commanded silence. Companions must see this as not a lone issue, but a larger one that threatens to tear apart our territory as a whole. I motion to make it priority for this body that we end injustice on every level, even in personnel. Right, I'm going to take... You are just as free as him or I because I want it to happen more rapidly. So the change in despotism is going to go up by 1, but that is the only time I think it's acceptable to take the little change in despotism there. Because we want to progress much faster. So if we look at social laws, I wonder what's actually going to happen to the LGBTQ rights. They do have legal protections currently. So I reckon it's probably going to go up to social normality. Which is a big thumbs up. It's good. It's very good. 10 stability and 10 monthly population. It's good for us. We've actually got equal rights in here as well. Which is... This is very good. I'm liking anarchism right now. This is some good anarchism we've got going on. We're building a good old little nation. And hopefully we'll unify Russia. What's happening? Did somebody just pop up there? No, we're good. The Divine Mandate may be struggling here. Cheetah is not going down without a fight. The Battle of Barcelona. We'll see what happens there. Establish the Provisional Resource Council. Central European Council defeated SS Oberabschnitt Ostland. That's definitely not how you pronounce that, but tada. To be pro or reactive? Oh my days, what is this? Universal healthcare. High income weight. Right. Okay, we're gonna have to read this because this is a big one. Scandal proposing this. The plan authorized by Stepanov seemed like his usual shtick. Mikhail cared very little for anarchism. Even so, less so for Stepanov. Mikhail liked numbers. Numbers made sense in the world where nothing did. Even he had never read Bakunin or only heard of Makhno in passing, Mikhail knew how to make things work, and even Yuri had to admit it every now and then. There's a lot of zeros in this figure here, Ivan, Mikhail said, peering over his glasses. I'm not going to bore you with the ideological implications of your little anti-poverty, or shall I say anti-Glasgow proposal here. What's more important to me is how you want to bring this about when I am already differing a sizable portion of our budget to keep our boys stocked up with the most up-to-date guns money can buy. Stepanov leaned forward, folding his hands on Mikhail's desk. I assure you, companion, Kalichkov, what I'm offering is not only feasible, but is necessary. We'd ought to be actively redistributing the wealth to the people. Think how many lives we could be saving and improving with this landmark agenda. Mikhail sighed and shakes it. Cut the shit, Ivan. I am not Yuri. I am not going to be swayed by people's struggle, or whatever you call that horse shit you just spouted at me. I'm looking at this from a solely pragmatic point of view. That's my job, yeah? I balance the books, you shoot the reactionaries. I don't see why you're even here. Current system of communal self-management works fine. They take the money they need and put it where they see fit. Why do we even have to get involved in the whole process? Stepanov scowled at Mikhail, visibly angry but not willing to drop his act just yet. It's important not only myself, Mikhail, but to the army as well. Think about whose families this will save. Think about what they will think if the new breaks. As Mikhail Klitschkov shot down this agenda, all the while accruing a not so small fortune. Mikhail glared at Stepanov, the two sharing an intense battle just between each other's eyes. Right, let's have a wee look. So we're going to be changing the public health care, which right now we're going to be changing that to what? To a universal health care, which it's a lot more nicer kind of stuff, but our proportional GDP cost goes up to 6%. However, I think it is beneficial to do that. No unemployment subsidies. That will maybe be under economic. No unemployment subsidies. So if we change that to trinket, what are we on right now? No unemployment. So we'll get some stability back, but our GDP cost goes up by 3%. Also increase our poverty rate, societal development will begin to slowly improve. That's good as well. Flat taxes will be high come. Medium taxation, it's not that. Income tax, flat taxes, which will be high income weighted. Which GDP to the budget. Our poverty rate society will begin to improve. I am going to. As you need it, you can have it. for Mother Anarchy. With our access to new lands and resources, many comrades have pointed out a need to properly coordinate said resources so that communes can properly function. To this end, we shall establish the Provisional Resource Council. This council's main function will be ensuring the extraction and distribution of all resources within the Free Territory. To this end, the council will be composed of workers from resource gathering industries and representatives from areas who need resources. This council will hopefully be able to solve any and all needs from the cities and villages involving resource needs, while allowing the workers who produce said resources a place to be heard. Fantastic. It'll also reduce the administrative strain on the nation, which is good. Yeah, I was very close to choosing despotism again there, but Mother Anarchy, the only reason I chose the despotism was because I do want the rights to increase, because that is another +5 stability and population growth, so good. Our stability is pretty high actually, because look at all the modifiers to it. 50 to 80% poverty rate. That's not ideal. That's far from ideal. Can't remember what motion we're implementing. Yeah, weaken Black Army administration. You'll never get full power of the nation. What are we lacking? Guns, artillery, everything. Democracy returns to Italy. Oh, well that's nice. Umberto II di Savola. Oh, Sverdlovsk. Offer for surrender. Operation Red Vorkuta. Probably going to get told to get in the bin. The last Congress of Kansk. With the rapid growth of our new lands for the Free Territory, it's become clear that more central location is needed in order for the communes to properly coordinate. However, there are a few issues that still need to be worked out, and we must make sure that the movement of the Congress to a more central city like Novosibirsk is done officially through democratic vote. Therefore, we shall hold one final Congress in Kansk to solve any remaining internal issues before moving. 100% power and do Svidania. Grand. And then once we have done that, rectify the rural-urban split. Decrease the influence of the church. Reorganize large cities into autonomous communal governments. Present the cure. We'll present anarchism as the solution to the problems facing Russia. Vituska wins in Ostland. Siberian Free Territory. 5, 2.5, 5, and 5. I think that gets rid of the political power gain negative modifier. Yes, 5. Gets rid of the division organization, I think. No, gets that down to -5. Stability goes up to 25. Division defense goes up by 5. Nice. 25 and 15 for those two. Ural Military District declare war on the Vorkuta Corrective Labour Camp. Who would have seen that coming? 3 to 5. And Rokozovsky has 14. I think Sverdlovsk is going to win that. Excuse me. Yeah, Divine Mandate's probably going to win this. Samara versus the West Russian Revolutionary Front. That is what's coming down to. Do Svidania. Yuri walked briskly past the pearl gate of Kansk towards the General Assembly for what could be his last time. He shivered in the Siberian frost front, his multiple layers of clothing doing little to protect him from the cold. Despite the elements, or maybe because of them, Yuri frozen in his tracks. He breathed in the cool air of the city he built, that he loved, the city where it all began. He sauntered to the gate, so many engravings on it from so many expeditions. It began to set in with him. This was real. Him, Yuri Glaskov, was forging a new Russia, hand in hand with his communal brothers. It felt so final. There was no going back now. He had led too many armies, too many had died. He must charge ahead at full speed now. An action now would spell the death of the anarchist movement. Yuri pushed off the gate and continued his walk to the General Assembly. Throwing open the doors, Yuri saw the usual suspects stepping off at his desk writing something. Valentev gesturing to a map decorated with cities labelled friendly and opposed, and Mishurenko attempted to cross out all the ones labelled friendly. Hundreds of other people chatting about the assembly hall. Yuri smiled to himself. They were a ragtag bunch. He found that fitting for the torchbearers of anarchism. It ought to be a movement of many people, for all backgrounds. Yuri shook hands with Valentiv, nodding in respect to Mishurenko before taking a seat on the bench. Ladies and gentlemen, As the last of us trickle in on the chilly Siberian morning, I would like to say a few words before we begin. Vlaskov stood in awe of the crowd of the movement. What we have done here is what the nightmares of SARS and fascists alike are made of. We have stood up together. Through our loyalty to each other, we have freed our people of the tyranny of the state. But much more is to come. We have a lot before us. I can tell you it won't be simple or enjoyable all the time. It will be hard. All good things in life are fought for, not handed to us. We have fought for freedom here, but I cannot sleep at night, companions, knowing there is still so much work left to do. Yuri watched the doors to the assembly close. I believe we are all here. If you'd take your seats, we can begin. Our work will never be over. Right, ratify the Ural Auburn split. First major issue that the Congress of Kansk has chosen to focus on is the urban-rural split. While most of our rural comrades have been able to begin reorganising villages into proper anarchist communes, our urban comrades have had difficulties. The large population of cities combined with a high concentration of people has led to efforts to require more intensive care and resources in order to succeed. With the consolidation of some of the other new communes, we can afford to devote more time and effort to properly reorganise the cities. These communal governments, more than anything, will set the model for any future communes. We must try our hardest to truly liberate all the people who live in the free territory and show them the light of anarchism. Anarchism is life at this point. You must join me. Worker training. What do we want to do? None of these for the time being. Develop military industry. That's despotism. Yes. Let's go ahead and develop the civilian industry. Despotism has only 11%. That's nice. Better industrial expertise. Ah, nascent industrial base with experienced industrial base. Ah, now that is what we wanted. Economic laws, is that in? Oh no, societal development. Look at the trends. We are all on the goods. We could really do with improving the poverty rate. It's not exactly ideal. Wait. What happened? Poles around the water have decried. Oh! Oh, right. Okay. Right, so... I don't know which one. Expand. Power the communes. Increase civilian research. Yeah, we definitely want to work on some of these. Basic literacy is not great. So, power... What have we got? Experienced industry. It currently does nothing for us. That's good. That's good. It's nothing negative there. Our industry is actually doing pretty good then, by the sounds of things. Let's get the RPG 2. Actually, no. Let's not get the RPG 2. I've been meaning to do this all bloody episode. In there, please. Signal companies. Sorted. A pained plea. Sophia smiled politely as she walked up to the podium, her heels clicking on the floor. Her snow-white fur coat and crimson-red lips was a sharp contrast that suited at best and in rags at worst the audience. She fiddled with the papers, smiling awkwardly to the Security Council, her pearly white teeth nearly blinding many of its members. Yuri gave her a nod, and the blonde-haired woman began speaking. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Kansk. My name is Sofia Petrova. I was a wealthy upstart for the city of Tomsk. She paused for a second, trying to gauge the audience's reaction. My life revolved around administering my father's business, caring for my two lovely girls, and expanding my knowledge with the night classes I attended. All three of which were taken from me. Sophia's smile flickered for just a second, like the flame of a candle being blown on. I am not here to give you kind folks my sob story, the woman said, retrieving a silk handkerchief from her pocket and dabbing her crystal blade. I'm here to say there is good in the world. Not everyone in that city was evil. I have wholeheartedly accepted that this is simply the way things go. You know, the woman laughed a little too hard to the silent on it. Sophia, not missing a signal, we continue on. I knew you were angry and that you want justice. I want justice too, but I asked you so mercifully in your justice. Tomsk was pillaged. We lost everything. We are willing to not only live with us within the land, but love it. We yearn to experience your brotherhood. My only caution. Sweeter for a pathetic half smile. Let the people build equality. Don't thrust it upon them. Sophia descended the podium, her head down as she returned to her seat. She crossed her legs and put on her biggest grin. She knew in some communities they would have shot her just for saying she'd administered a business. All she'd do was look to the members of the council and wait for their justice. Placing the transition under the jurisdiction of the army will ensure it remains peaceful. The people must decide its fate. We have no place. Oh, I didn't read it. Honours of humanity. When the Soviet Union fell and the Central Siberian Republic splintered, the people were left adrift with lawlessness plaguing the land. To deal with the chaos, many turned to religion, leading to the church becoming a powerful influence in Central Siberia. I think the church has a little bit too much power. When the Tsar was disposed and the people turned to another government in the form of the USSR, when the USSR failed, the people turned to yet another government in the CSR. Yet in the end, the CSR fell like the two governments before it. The states were unable to deal with the problems that plagued Russia, and so they collapsed. Anarchism has succeeded. Look at that. Mother Anarchy would be proud. And we are going to present it as the solution to all problems. Hell yeah we are. Hell yeah. And we have so much PP. A Cape of Good Hope resolution. Authority measure replace nation. Blah 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 blah. Who cares about what's happening in America? We only care what's happening over here. Oh my gosh, what is everyone doing? Oh. That's fine. Oh my days. Stop costing us money. I will happily send you all guns. Right. Manpower as well. You can have manpower. Army experience as well. Gosh, keeping them on our side, man. Jesus. Guys need to show a little bit of faith in me. Don't think we're doing a bad job. Look at despotism. Social democracy is almost higher than despotism at this point. Oh, beautiful. It's a beautiful sight. Overextended administration's almost gone as well. Good. Yeah, still doing stuff, but can't do anything else. A victory for the Front Democratico. Ah, Petronini. If God were real, we must abolish him. Okay. Being God is opposed to the anarchist mindset in and of itself. State atheism. The church is the root of evil, not religion itself. Yeah, get in the bin, despotism. Get in the bin. Right, let's present anarchism as the cure. Look at despotism, 7%. Ha ha ha. You are so weak, it's unbelievable. What a terrible shame. It really is a terrible shame that this happened. Oh, we have non-nuclear power. It's a bit pants. Power tools are a bit rubbish. Well, pacifying the free territories gone. Good. Are we finally able to build factories and stuff? Oh, we are. We've got 3. That's happening too. We're going to get 2 civvy factories. Fantastic. Poverty rate's going to improve as well. Poverty is a big issue. Wow. If you get to -5, less than -5% poverty rate, that's pretty good. It's over the monthly population cost, but then again, there's ways you can cancel that. Oh, right now, this is not good. Look at all the negatives it's given us. Right, early industrial robotics, because who doesn't like robots? Industrial expertise, agricultural industrial expertise, academic base. Let's go for the academic base. Oh, I can't wait to present the cure. Present it. Our last hope. How many times had Yuri stood before the General Assembly, his companions at his side? How many more times would he? The question clouded the young man's mind as he climbed up to the balcony of the Kansk City Hall. The city is where it all began, the balcony of Kansk City Hall. I have read the same bit I've already read, where he first protested against the Central Siberian Republic's hypocrisy, where he organized a revolt, where he developed a friendship with Ivan Stepanov, a man he would have disdained. He supposed that was the beauty of anarchy. He didn't know what would come next. He certainly knew what he would like to do, but would he ever achieve them? He was unsure. He had heard reports from both the West and East. Neither were promising. In the middle of them both was the free territory, the safe zone between the statists. They would most certainly send their planes and tanks, but what would falter on is their message. A person will not become a fascist or socialist if you shoot them long enough. What changes people is words, a uniquely human trait. Glanskov saw the thousands crowding the city hall, and he saw hope, a people who had seen enough suffering for their lifetime. They were going to decide the fate of Russia, the people before him. It was up to Yuri to help guide them towards the good. Companions, those of you who are joining us for the first time, and those who have followed us since the beginning, I welcome you. People began to applaud, some chanting his name, something that didn't sit right with Yuri. Regardless, he continued on. Today, the greatest struggle to come to Russia enters its next stage. We'll face enemies who wish to divide us, to subvert our agenda and substitute their own. They wish to manipulate us, to force us to back under their boot we crawled out of. Companions, Will we let that happen? The assembly masses sang a chorus of liberation, making their stance clear. The state has no place here. Haha, the cure is anarchism. Oh, anarchy, the future. Indeed it is. With all major issues settled, the last Congress of Kansk has begun to wind down. All major internal issues seem to have been settled. The creation of the communes and council is proceeding smoothly. Good. Fantastic. And I think we'll be saying goodbye to the administrative effects still hurting us. Yet the overextending administration is going to go bye-bye. And hopefully we can maybe look towards killing some more nations. Oh, despotism's at 3%. Oh, you poor little thing, Black Army. Mother Anarchy has shown you up completely. Well, at least we've got the airfield now on the border over here, which is good. Oh yes, these 7 planes we have out over here. Yeah, planes, we don't really have tons of planes, but we still got more planes than everybody else, so that's all that really matters. Fred Losk hasn't really done anything. Right, naval support, no, air support please. I'm not. Why would you do naval support? Oh, that increases marines. Air assault. Yeah, ground support is going to be nice. Granted economic autonomy. Oh yes, I remember what that was for. That's working quite nicely. What else do we want to? Army professionalism. Yeah, let's do that. So if we have a look at the army professionalism. No, it's not one there. Is it down here? Academic bases. Okay, new price. Army profession. Disgruntled veterans. Yeah, we could probably do with that. Spartan discipline is amazing. If only we could get to that. Well, there we go. We've done that. Looking outwards. Oh. Geopolitics is a game of diplomacy. And tact just as much as his armies and wars in order to secure the few territories. Must assess our standing with our neighbours. We're surrounded on all sides. Oh, okay. Do you know what? We'll do that next episode. Is there an event for finishing that? Don't think there was, but anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Longer episode today, but I just wanted to finish off the that Congress, because now we're in Novosibirsk as our capital. So until next time, guys, take care. Cheer bye. The now.